Gracious and holy God, on this Christmas morning, may we also treasure and ponder, as Mary did, the birth of your Son and what that means to us in our own lives and in the world. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. Pre-COVID, so that seems about 100 years ago, I was in the post office and I was purchasing stamps. And there was a woman in front of me, and I overheard her say to the clerk, I need 50 Christmas stamps. And the clerk said, what denominations? And with a deep sigh, the woman said, oh, God help us. Has it come to this? Give me 20 Episcopalian, 15 Lutheran, 10 Presbyterian, and 5 Catholic. Now, really, you know that didn't happen. But there's often much truth told in jest, and what this humorous story raises is the reality that the words like denomination and religion evoke very different reactions from people. Religion is a funny business and simply just one thing. In fact, there's no longer just one religion. That happened with the Roman Catholic Church, one true religion, and I was raised Roman Catholic. And there's no longer any one Christianity or one Islam. There are many different perspectives on who Jesus is and what his coming into our world means for us in our world. And we could spend hours, we could probably spend years in conversation, but I suspect you'd all like to get home to celebrate this holy day of Christmas. In Isaiah's reading, Jesus has many names. And the one that I love the most is, well, there are 4 names that Isaiah has for Jesus that we did not read this morning, but Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, and my favorite, which is Prince of Peace. Isaiah's 4th name for the one who would deliver Israel was the Prince of Peace. And surely this term takes us to the heart of what Christmas is about. It's not a peace where the world is not at war or our lives can feel topsy-turvy, but it is a peace that when God settles into our lives and the world around us, we're somehow able to get through all of the craziness and chaos. But what could be more peaceful than that beautiful scene of a holy night, with shepherds watching and angels singing, and Mary placing the baby in Bethlehem's stable, pondering and treasuring in her heart? She has no idea what's going to be coming. But Christmas is much more than a sentimental remembrance of the birth of a baby long ago. Christmas is about God's plan for peace on earth. And as another Christmas breaks on our not-so-peaceful world, we're challenged once more to ask ourselves, what have we done in the past year to bring God's peace into the lives of people around us? For Christmas is about a world at war with itself. So many people at odds. Christmas is about the need for God in the midst of bombings, riots, missiles, screaming down, murders, domestic violence, and drunken family arguments. It's the peace that the world needs in their hearts. And I love when the angels came down to the shepherds, don't be afraid. So easy maybe for them to say, but it's so true, don't be afraid, I'm with you. Or be afraid, but don't let it control your life. The Word became flesh, not to give us some sentimental recollection of a long ago and faraway picture of peace, but to live among us, to take on our humanity. Christ came to give us the hope and the way to find an everlasting ceasefire on this earth. Christ came to bring to fulfillment in one way or another the ancient prophecies which say of him, he makes wars to cease. Christ was born for this, for our peacelessness, to come in and to help us, to right the wrongs. There's an ancient legend which says that when the child of Bethlehem was taken from the manger, no cow or donkey or goat or sheep would eat the hay left there where he had been cradled. And when the stable boy wondered why, he discovered that wisps of hay had turned to gold. It's only a legend, but this much is parable enough to tell us that where Christ enters in those hearts where he finds room to be born, everything changes. And the peace with God and with one another we so need becomes God's gift to us. To see another human being through God's eyes. And by the grace of God, it can happen to us. So let's ponder and treasure the birth of Christ today. Let's not go forward to what happens to him in 3 years or at Easter time, but take today to treasure and ponder it. So I encourage you to be more aware of the presence of Christ in our lives and in every word we speak and every act we perform, every interaction, every relationship, every breath we take, to treasure and to ponder. And Merry Christmas to all of you and your families.